Alright, if you're here, then that means you joined us for the extended cut. Thank you so much, and I'm sorry I didn't plan this video out in a way that would be short and concise, but so far I hope you've enjoyed what you've watched, and I'm gonna run through the rest of the kits on this card. Well, actually not all of them. On this card, there are like 3 or so kits, like drums and pads and stuff, that I actually came up with while I was writing this video. So there's a drum kit in there, there's some pads, and I didn't want to get rid of them because I personally like them a lot. So, you know, should you get your hands on this card, they're all yours to download and use. In case you're particularly interested in the concept of developing, you know, your own sounds out of synthesis. Again, there's a lot of tools out there that do this, but the ROAT is a really particularly interesting and affordable one. So I hope it's on your radar. Let's check it out. We're only hearing one note because these frequencies are down. You know what? I kind of like that. Let's make our first notes kind of what's the word? Kind of sinusoidal, kind of very smooth and simple. And during the tutorial, I taught a little bit about how the LFO works for frequencies. So let's roll with that. Let's make it one of these kind of like warbly little sinusoidal, you know, tape affected magnetic cassette tape warble sine pad things. So I'm gonna turn this on, and I'm gonna add an LFO to our second note. Let's see. I'm gonna go to the amount. And let's make the frequency a little bit lower. Let's do this for all 3. Now it's just a little bit dissonant, you can hear, because there's 4 LFOs going at once, so let's make that a little more stable. So I'm gonna record that up here into 1. Just a short little. All right, simple. So if we play it and it loops. So we've got our first chord, and let's build a second chord based off of that first chord. Again, just by using our ears and listening to see that there's no dissonance. So I'm just going to play this chord in the background. Now it sounds like a lot. It sounds like there's too much happening, but the point is that we're not going to play these 2 chords at the same time. We would move between them. So because I didn't hear any dissonance, let's hear how they sound one at a time. Not bad, kind of sounds like a spaceship. Let's get a lower frequency in there. See, it's like it's a different chord. I couldn't tell you what notes those are, but I know that because I dialed it in while playing the first chord, they don't necessarily sound bad one after the other. There's, it's just, this is one of the strangest ways to make chords, but like, I don't know, this is the kind of way you'll find chords that you would have never thought of before, just by dialing it in yourself, dialing it in by ear. So let's record that second one. So now we have 2 little chord snippets. Let's get a third one. Same thing, I'm going to just kind of let this loop, and I'm going to dial in a third chord. See, first of all, that's a tritone, so there's some dissonance there. Can't use that. But also, one of the frequencies isn't low enough. You know, it sounds like the chord is kind of stopping. It sounds like we're losing a bass note. So we definitely need a lower frequency there. it's almost there. I think we just need something a little different. You know, actually I didn't like that at first, but now when I hear it in sequence, it's kind of neat. So that's all right. Now it doesn't, I think it sounds a little bit more like a passing tone. It doesn't totally sound great. It sounds a little out, kind of like, you know, kind of out there, but let's get one more chord and let's see if we can, you know, tie them together. Let's loop this one. Let's try it. And kind of the fun thing, like this is so low pressure in that you can just record a little snippet and just play it in sequence like this. And, you know, in preparing for this video, I did that process maybe 50 times and came out with like 3 or 4 of them that I thought were kind of good. Because, you know, you get into an idea and you're like, that's a cool sound. That one's kind of like spaceshipy, and then all of a sudden, maybe sounds a little bit out, and then scrap the idea, do it again. That process of dialing in these tones is really quite good training for your ear. And, you know, as a result, you just go through so many different sounds that, you know, eventually you'll find one you like. So, personally, I think this one's pretty cool, actually. Now, if you're not crazy about that sound, just like anything else on the SP404, try putting it through the vinyl sim and see how it sounds in the lo-fi context. Now, you could take these 4 tones and you could put them through any of these effects or even an external effect, and then you can resample them. So you could really build a tone. You don't need to rely on the effects within the Rumble of Ancient Times here. You can do whatever you want. I'm just curious to hear what this sounds like through a tape echo. So actually, I think that sounds kind of fun. I'm going to stick with that one, and it's up to you if you want to add these effects and resample them. I'm going to keep the sounds pretty pure for now because, you know, maybe we can add some effects later. Let's build a texture that's a little bit more complicated than just, you know, warbly sine waves. Now, I'm going to put the LFO to another use. I'm going to use it to modulate the amplitude, which is the volume. I want one of these pads to sound like they are struggling. So, hear that? And if I go to the frequency and turn it up, so we actually kind of have a rhythm there, which, depending on your creative process, maybe you could just sample that and start with like a... There we go. We have a tone that's very different than the first one. Now, if you wanted to use these chords in conjunction, you know, maybe one is like the verse and one is the chorus, you could actually just loop one of the chords that you made before and then play some of these notes and see how it sounds. Sounds like it's in key. I think we start here. I think this is a different sound. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to record this to here.
I feel compelled to add something to this. How about a little bit of chromatic pitch shifts? I'm into it. Let's resample that. That's something kind of... So compared, you know, we have this... There's an additional overtone there, and of course the quality isn't going to be quite as clear as the original 8-bit tone here, but I think it's better. It does make it a little bit harder to play with the other chords, but again, we're going for 4 distinct sounds here, so I think it should be okay. I'm going to delete the original, exchange, get this guy up here. Let's build more. Now again, it sounds weird in the moment, but in context, these sounds could really be used in a very interesting way. Of course, you could throw with your vinyl sim. You see, it's tricky to anticipate how that could have sounded, because again, when it's totally pure, these sounds are so piercing and so clear. But when we're done with it, just a few steps later, we have this very pretty... You see what I'm getting after here? It's that we have to kind of embrace the unpredictability here. I think fine-tuning your sound at this point isn't really prudent, and I think it's quite important to just keep pushing forward and just keep trying these new things. All right, let's do one more. Let's get a little bit more dynamic with this one. I want a tone that changes more as it goes on. So. I want to take the LFO of that third sound and really make it glitch out. Got like a little pulsing there. I think we can use that. Let's do the same with the second note here. Let's play with the waveforms just a little bit more. Ooh, smooth. How does that sound compared to the first one? Similarly smooth. I do want something a little bit different, so let's see what we can... Not bad. Ooh, I like that high note. There we go. Actually, a little harmony in there. Pretty cool. I like that. I'm curious what this sounds like with just a little bit of reverb. All right, let's record that. And I'm gonna have to be careful to record. This one has a rhythm, so I have to really... 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All right. Cool. Fun. Hey, actually, I like this one a lot. This is my favorite. I'm gonna do one note at a time this time. I'm only gonna change a few of the notes, only 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All right. Cool. Hey, that sounds pretty good. All right, let's do it again. Build a 4th note here. record that. All right, record that. Nope, with the reverb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. There we go. We got four very comparatively soothing pads. Let's hear it. You see, I like that a lot. That's very smooth. There's nothing experimental about that, right? That's not noise. That's not. That's a really. I think it's pretty sound. I think it's very, very nice, and you could easily build a track around that with some drums. So what we've done is we've used these 4 voices. We changed the notes 4 times, and you can tell that last chord we definitely put more focus on what the notes actually are compared to the first 2. But as a result, we really generated something special here. Very, very unique set of notes, very unique set of tones. There you have it. We have 3 sets of pads here. They don't all go together necessarily. Each one of them does kind of have their own distinct sound and key, but something about that low note that sounds so nice. It's very it's thick. This second set's a little bit brighter. And I really do like that modulation on the effect there. It makes me feel like when we make pads using this thing, we should really do more modulation, more changes. It's a little bit, inconvenient for your BPM, but it definitely does sound quite. Sounds nice. I like it a lot. And you have this cute little indie pop. I don't know. You could have some real fun with this. Break out a synth. We'll do a jam later. Okay, let's take a step back. We're going to make a monophonic bass sound. All right, if we're gonna make a simple bass line, let's just use one voice. Let's keep it simple. Okay, so we're gonna use that one oscillator. I'm going to play one of the samples that we're gonna have a bass line beneath, because that way we'll use our ear to tune it. Okay, now with the external source turned on, I'm going to there we go, it's in tune. So let's record. There. Again, doesn't have to be that long. Let's go down to the minor note. There we go. And just going through and grabbing some notes that sound like, they would match. Now, on the lower notes on this thing, because the potentiometers are so tiny, it is awfully hard to get some of the lower notes in key. So just do your best, but at some point you're going to kind of reach a wall where you can only go so low and keep your notes in key. Now, of course, you can tune them using the pitch on the SP404, Or probably better off like bringing it into a DAW, and if you really need to get your bass line in key, which you totally should. But let's see what we can do. You hear that one's just a little bit off, but it should be okay. There we go, a nice resolve, 1 octave. Let's see how low we can go. Right, now we're getting into sub-bass territory, but should be okay. And let's see if we can go 1 note lower. Oh, it's close. I can hardly hear it on my speakers, but I know it's there. Hear that? I don't even know if it's into key. All right. All right, let's go up. Let's fill up these last couple notes here. One more. All right, cool. Got a bass line. Might sound a little bit better if you were to like resample it through maybe a compressor. We could go through the effort and compress it to hell to make sure that it really punches. But I think for now, let's keep it as it is. And just for shits and giggles, let's hear how it sounds through Vinyl Sim. No, those low notes. That's a way to check your headphones. All right, cool. We've got a bass line, or at least a bass instrument locked down. Let's move on and make a lead. Okay, so a lead, we're gonna kind of follow the same principle as the bass line, except we're gonna use a little bit of that logic from building pads. We're not gonna use more than 1 or 2 notes at a time. So, power chord. Okay, we can do that. Let's run with that. There we go. That punches a little bit as like a lead. Let's some kind of like minor pentatonic, yeah? So this is already a pretty high note. Let's drop this here. Okay, I was going for consistency between these notes, but these actually sound pretty fun. Let's just cook up with a couple different little 2-note combos and see how it sounds. So it's less of like a lead synthesizer and more of like a melodic sample on a single note, which wasn't what I set out to do, but I think it could be pretty fun. Let's run with it. It's simple enough. It shouldn't detract from the music. Let's see. I like it. It's got like an oboe vibe to it. I think that works. Let's try. Cool. I like that. Let's go back down. Ooh, let's try that. Ooh, yeah, that sounds fun. I like that. This 2-note thing is actually working better than I expected. Let's go down to the. Okay, let's try that. Traffic horn. Don't like that dissonance. Power chord. Can't go wrong. This note's lower. Maybe we'll rearrange them later, but let's just keep filling this out. Sometimes the notes can stay the same. Why not? Who's going to stop me? Little dissonant, but it should be okay. Dissonance. Those are similar, but maybe they'll both come in handy. Let's go lower. Now it's time to go low. Better. I like this. Okay, we have filled out the whole keyboard. That's 12 different combinations of 2 notes. The only real defining characteristic of this lead, as opposed to the pad sound that we created, is that it's only 2 notes instead of 4, and there's a little bit less movement within the tone, so it should allow us to play alongside a pad tone, which is here in C. So if I were to drop one of these pretty chords we made earlier and play some lead on top of it. Now, like, there's definitely a more optimal choice of notes that you could pick, right? And as per the experiment, I've really just been dialing these in by ear. But if you have a tuner on hand, you could put this into the A minor pentatonic scale and have a real good time. But I'm a little surprised that these sounded pretty good. These sounded pretty good on. Okay, let's start with a kick drum. Now, most drums are comprised of noise, not always tonal. So what we're going to do is we're going to find some noise inside of the rumble of ancient times, and we're going to try to get like a nice low bassy sound, and then we're going to compress the hell out of it, and then we should have, something that sounds like a kick drum. Let's see what we can do. I know the noise in this thing is hidden within the summing algorithms, so if we go to menu 6 here, again, I don't know how these work, so it's just a lot of fucking around. I can hear so many sounds that would make great drum sounds, but none that are a kick yet. Let's see what we can do. Let's go with this kind of pulsing brownish noise. Record that here. Just a short little. Now if I were to compress it, let's build the shape first. I'm going to use a compressor and then kind of mess with the level here to make it tail off like a normal drum would. Let's resample to here. Oh, that was good, other than the little reversal there. Let's do that. All right, look at that. We got like almost a kick. Let's octave. Getting there. All right, let's resample that. Compress it again. Yeah, all right. Compressor number 2. That's where the kick is. Resample to here. All right, we got a kick drum for now. Let's roll with that. Snare. All right, we want a boom. Let's start with noise again. Except this time we can be a little bit more experimental. I hate noise, man. I can't do it. Kind of like trash canny, right? It's gritty. It's got that, and there's a little bit of resonance you can hear. It sounds like hitting kind of like a metal tin or something. I like it. That took a little while to get, but let's make that our snare. Now, if you find it's too close to the kick, you could just go through these processes, just get rid of the. I like that a lot better. Let's resample that. Okay, we're getting there. Hi-hats. Hi-hats are easy because they're just like they're just like white noise, very, very short, right? I just needed that little. And there's a little bit of resonance there too, which is kind of fun. Let's get there. like it because, it's a little more complex than a normal, like, open high. Let's resample that. And for a closed hi-hat, I'm going to take the same thing and just shorten it. Let's see. All right, we got a little something here. You see where we're getting, like, it's coming along. It's a very simply designed drum kit, but there's a little bit of randomness in there. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and just finding some noises without much intent. My goal is to find something kind of like a clave, but my knowledge of using a synthesizer to create drum sounds has kind of ran out. So I'm just going to kind of find some noises and see what we can do to make them a bit more percussive. And a lot of the percussiveness will come from how we use the compressor and reverb and stuff to create the tail. For now, I think this is... Okay, in my messing around here, I found something kind of fun. So I've turned off the drone, and I've added voices release. So when I play these together, it does create a release that works. It's this particular set of tones. It's very metallic, which I kind of like, and it's almost like there's like a spring reverb. You hear that? Like, it sounds like some kind of alien percussion. So I say we record that. I like that a lot. Ready? And I think I would like another one of those. So if I were to drone these again. Now let's change the frequency. Okay, cool. Yeah, it still has the same kind of alien percussion sound, so let's record that one as well, and I'm going to compress these. All right, cool. Let's make another one. I kind of like that. It reminds me of one of those stick percussion things where you. That does sound a little better with like no attack, just a quick. Okay, cool. Let's do another one. That one's kind of cool. Let's run with that. Let's try that. See if we can use that. Now, if that's in key with the song, we'll be lucky. Weird. Cool. Okay, so I've went and made 2 of these sounds now. I don't really know what you'd call those. They're definitely percussive because the compressor just gives it that punch. But I kind of like it. All right, we're getting a little something. It's a weird kit. It's definitely a weird kit. But like if you got really into these sounds and put a little bit more time in, you could really find some textures. I'm gonna try to record this one and modify it a little bit while it's going. Ready? Watch this. No, not what I had in mind. Like this. Drill. Sounds like the spin up is just a little too late. You know, it's not the kind of sound I would use personally, but it actually sounds good in conjunction with these other crazy sounds. This is like an industrial kit. Like, I don't know if you, like, it reminds me a lot of like the DFAM, like these weird synthesized drum sounds. Yeah, it's really like really gritty, really intense. You could take all the edge off if we put this through the vinyl synth here. All right, we got two more. Let's see what we can come up with. That's it. With a little bit of reverb. All right, we got an industrial kit. We've got our kick, snare, hi-hats. Got a secondary kick. Got that little weird spin-up thing, which I'll probably move up here. Little bleep. Got that weird percussion-y thing. These two percussion-y things. And then these two just crazy synthy hits. Alright, we got a little drum kit.
That's all I've got. Thank you so much for watching.